Gundam.tk presents G-Exes. Hey again everybody, it's Robert184 from GundamReviews.net, and you've already seen Wolf. We've got 3 models and 2 mobile suits. Now it's time to make the best one that we know of so far, the high-grade G-Exes, because the plates are empty, and you've already seen the parts, so let's turn it into this mobile suit. And when the high-grade G-Exes is all put together, what do you think? From the back, I like to see that there's all that gray back there and these black seals in the shoulders and on the limbs. They're all looking good. He's got lots of gray in the upper body, but the legs are looking pretty dull. And overall, I don't know how much of an improvement it is over the Genoa's custom, but that's something that's going to be in the eye of the beholder. And here's just a zoom in of the face just so you can get an idea of what it looks like. Looks aside, there's nothing this guy can't really do in terms of mobility. The front skirts are going to come up that much, which allow the legs to kick forward. The bend of the knee is going to give you a fantastic bit of motion there. The side skirts, they feel like they can pop out, but once you put the chest on, they're actually going to be held in place pretty well. You could get full splits, and those ankles are going to move pretty much everywhere 00 style. Upper body is going to rotate all the way around there, and it's going to move because it's on a double ball joint. There's one there and there, so sometimes you're going to have to make sure that that's lined up or it's going to get out of the way. What you have here is the arms are not going to go all the way around because of that big backpack there, but they will go off to the side, and remember that because they're on this mount mechanism on the chest, they can go up here, forward and back, so a good range of mobility there, and they've got this white part there which is looking sharp despite the fact that the arm is going to rotate underneath it. Over a 135 for the arms. If you go much more than that, it'll pop out. And on the back, you're actually going to have mobility with the thrusters. They can be brought this far forward, and even more so if you got the shoulders down and out of the way. Although the beam sabers are going to get in the way when you do that, but it's still sort of cool that you can have this sort of blasting forward effect. To get the armaments in place, you can just pop off the hand, switch this part around, and then plug the shoulder, this shield in ever so slightly with that nub there. The hand is going to look a little bit awkward though. No problems with the beam rifle, just pop off this white cover and put this part in the middle. Fully armed, does your impression change any? He's still looking good from the back. That gray on the inside of the shield is going to look good. The mark being here means it's much more likely to be seen than it is on the Genoa's custom where it's on the back of the shield and you're never going to see it. And that oversized beam rifle is looking sort of good to go along symmetrically with that oversized shield. In general, the G-Exes was supposed to be inspired by the Gundam as Wolf went to Mr. Madonna and said, make me something that can compete with this guy, just do it in white. In terms of height, the G-Exes is going to be a little bit taller, including with the Wolf ears on there, and having the beam sabers in the back over the shoulders, despite the fact that they've got that width in between them, is certainly going to look a little bit more filled out than the Age 1 normal and its race car spoiler. This is who Wolf had to slash through in his first appearance in the G-Exes, and the UE kits are supposed to be bigger, and the back toe is no exception. It's certainly a lot more filled out in every direction. In terms of height, the head is going to take it here for sure, especially when you add in the commander's antenna. On the right, you have the 600 yen G-Exes advanced grade, which is half the price of the high grade there on the left. And of course, you're going to have a whole bunch of improvements here in terms of coloring, except for the fact that most of this gray here on the upper body is going to be the same. The only real difference from the front is just the fact that you've got that gray on top of the feet, because if you were to order an extra sticker sheet, something that's not impossible from Bandai, and you put the black seals on here and you put in some lining, especially around the face area, the AG would actually do a pretty good job of looking like it, except for the fact that its weapons are going to look small like smushed pancakes instead. And finally, here is Wolf's predecessor suit. You have the high-grade Genoa's custom, which again is going to be all white, which is Wolf's thing. The only thing, his biggest thing was that in addition to the beam rifles that he's got that bayonet down there, that's something that you thought that was such a key point of the Genoa's custom that it would be carried through forward into this one, but I guess he's just got those big beam sabers in its place. Overall, this one, the face is going to look a little bit cooler, I think, although the wolf motif of the other one is good, but that shiny blue on top of the gray is certainly going to take the visual cake over what we're getting here, although that plastic in the form of the camera lenses is still a big plus. To posing now, where the legs are going to be able to get you pretty much anywhere you want to go. You'll notice that the knee armor bends awkwardly every once in a while, but he's got no problems looking down the barrel of his BR. The shoulders give you so many options in terms of movement that you're not going to have any problems pretty much bringing the beam rifle across in any direction you choose. This is sort of nice just because it shows off the mark. If you take the shield off, then you can actually bring that left arm across, and again those shoulders are going to get you where you need if you want to have the two-hand shooting. But with the action-based attachment point, once he gets up aerial, even though the pose looks awkward from some angles as it rotates around here you can really bring the bendability of the legs and arms into full bear. And with those incredible arms doing their things, you can see that it's no problem at all for him to reach back and grab both beam sabers at the same time. And the beam sabers with their clear pink effect is going to look really good with the all-white body, especially when you're able to twist the shield forward, awkward hand notwithstanding, he can come across as looking pretty sharp. With the dynamic left hand in place, no matter where you position the other beam saber, it can still look like Wolf is getting just angry enough to drop the hammer/fang. And with the blades fitting in well, whether you've got them going up in the hand or down, well, you can just see one just starting to slip out there ever so slightly. Still, with the fact that you can move the shoulders anywhere, there's pretty much nothing that this guy can't do with his fangs. Unless you ask him to hold the beam rifle, two beam sabers, and the shield all at the same time, that's not gonna work out. But in terms of posing, no complaints anywhere. And yes, Flit was certainly happy when Wolf showed up in this MS. Roronoa Zoro style. So that's going to wrap up my look at the mobile suit, but don't forget to stay tuned for the final part, the verdict, where I'll have all the good and bad things listed in one place so that you can make a call whether, hey, you want to pick up the high-grade G-Exes for yourself. Anyway, everybody, Robert184, Gundam.tk, what do you think of the mobile suit, the anime, the character, and of course, the video itself? Love to hear from you. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and hit thumbs up if you enjoy the vid. Thanks for watching. See you with the next and final part. Sorry kid, but you gotta admit, those oversized beam sabers look even better on me. Yeah, it's sort of weird the way that I was just sort of completely forgotten about that. You'd think that I would have been passed on to somebody else, don't you think?